Hi everyone, my name is Amelia Valenti and I'm the West Village resident gardener. Today we're shooting from the beautiful South Pavilion area within West Village. Today I'm going to show all of you how to plant a citrus tree. So today we'll actually be planting our citrus tree in a pot. Potted plants are a great way if you don't have a backyard garden or if you rent to actually take your plants with you. Now it's really important if you are looking at keeping a citrus tree in a pot that you select the right kind of pot. Obviously the tree's roots will grow and eventually it will need to be repotted, but you need to make sure that your pot is straight and then curved at the base. You don't want to get a pot that comes in, otherwise it will mean you'll have to break the pot in order to get the root ball out. So today I've chosen a terracotta pot. These are just my personal favourites. I love the colouring. I think it's a really natural addition to your pot selection. And they're also very porous, which means that they drain a lot faster, which I really like. So keep in mind you may need to water this plant a little bit more than you would if you bought a ceramic or black plastic pot. So once you've chosen the right kind of pot, it's really important to select the right kind of tree. Now I've selected a dwarf lemon tree. As you can see, this is a grafted dwarf lemon tree. So you can see this cut here. So it's really important when we're planting this pot to be mindful of keeping that part above the soil area. I've selected a dwarf lemon tree today. If you do want a citrus potted garden, it's always best to go with your dwarf kinds, obviously because they won't grow as big as a normal lemon. So I'm going to show you how to actually plant it. The kind of soil that I'm using today is just your premium basic potting mix. I prefer to actually add the nutrients and minerals that the citrus tree required instead of buying your pre-packaged citrus soil. So now that I've selected my pot and citrus tree, I always make sure that my root ball is much smaller than the pot size, so I know that I have a lot of growing room for my root system. It's really important so that you don't have to keep repotting it every year. This will last in this pot for a good few years, especially if you add the correct nutrients to it. So I'm going to start with putting my soil in the pot. Now it is really important obviously to pack your soil down as you are filling it, otherwise the soil level will drop as you water it. So I've added in the soil at the base of the pot. It's really important once you've done that just to check that when you are actually going to plant your plant, that the rim is just below the edge of the pot. This means that you've made the perfect choice in regards to the pot size as well. So you've filled the rest in with soil, and now I'm going to add a little bit of nutrients just to help the citrus tree actually fruit when it is ready. So now I'm going to add my trace elements. So I've actually selected specific citrus fertilizer to add into the pot before I plant my tree. When planting, we obviously want to take the plastic pot off, but we also need to make sure that we release all the roots. So breaking up the root ball is a really important thing to do to ensure that these roots actually attach to this soil. So now I'm going to plant my dwarf lemon citrus tree. Now that I've planted my dwarf lemon tree, you can actually see there's a rim that I've left. Now this is to make watering a little bit easier. If you do overfill the pot with soil, your water will just run off the top. So trying to be water wise, making sure that your plant gets as much moisture as it can. Try to leave that little bit of gap between the edge of the pot and the soil. You can mulch citrus trees in their pots. I prefer not to for this one right now. Once it starts to get a little bit warmer, I'll look at using sugarcane mulch if required. But because this is in a pot, I can control the amount of moisture that's in the soil. So I'm just going to check the soil every day or so, just to make sure that it still feels quite moist. In summer, it is also really important to check for bugs. Now you can use a natural white oil solution to remove your bugs, or if you're really worried about burn on your leaf, you can use just a little bit of soap and some water. Alternatively, if you are finding that you're getting quite a bit of sooty mold on your plant, which is evident on the leaves, you can actually just hose it off. So now I'm going to give this guy really good water. I'm going to put him in semi to full sun, and I'm going to add little terracotta feet to ensure he's standing off the ground that allows the water to drain fully through.